Hey everyone, welcome back to another 31-minute podcast. Jordan.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. What was
Here we
that?
go
What
again.
voice was that?
Good morning, everybody.
Is that your little computer fix-it geek voice?
It's the mouse voice.
Um,
Do you know what we're talking about today?
we
you
are.
last night.
Yeah, what did we text last night?
Where are we here? What does high performance really mean?
Yeah. Why are you talking like that?
I think when we were listening to them intros, other podcast
We
intros,
just-
it's like in my head.
Yeah,
because I was doing that voice.
Yeah. The guy was like, "Hi, welcome to your high performance." Yeah. You don't have to do it.
Back to normal now.
Yeah, okay. What does high performance really mean? It's a word. I don't know. I think the reason I sent that to you is I think a lot of people talk about it. High performance, this, high performance, that. What does it actually really mean? How do you become that? Is it different for each person? I'm wired different. We're actually on the way home from the gym this morning. We talk most mornings, anywhere between 5 and 7 o'clock. Depends if Jordan's up or not. I'd be talking at 5, but he's usually actually, you've been in bed lately. When's the last time you trained?
What did I say this morning?
34 days ago.
Yeah, 34 days ago.
Is that for real?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the first time in 7 years.
That you had a break from it? Yeah. But you
I've
also
got up at
needed
4 o'clock for 7 years straight, not missed a day.
Yeah, you actually were very impressive with getting up. And I used to think, is it getting up too much early? Like, were you tired? And
Yeah, but I go to bed at like 7:30.
Yeah, you do. On the bot. With the bot tucked in.
Tuck me in 7:30,
Yeah.
see you at 4, let's go.
The reason I think it's important to talk about, I reckon sometimes it can be a bit deflating because you might watch, let's say someone's watching you get up at 4 o'clock, posting your lift selfies every day saying, let's go. But they're not a morning person.
I stopped posting it for this reason.
Yeah. And in a funny sort of way, people might feel like, oh, why can't I do that? Or that doesn't feel right to me, or it's exhausting to even think about it. But
I think that sometimes turns people off you. Yeah.
It can be.
Because they're like, it almost makes them look at themselves, which they don't need to. Because, like, some people you prefer to train in the evenings. You train both
No, I
morning.
don't.
Well, you train morning and night, but some people will say, I prefer to train in the evenings.
Yeah, some
I couldn't
people
think
do.
of anything
Yeah.
worse than that. So
I'm surprised.
Sorry.
I hate training in the
You're so
in
good
the
at it,
nights.
though.
Yeah, I just make myself.
it's like 8 o'clock, you and I are falling asleep at our desk, and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to drive 30 minutes to Tuggerah to do a cardio
Remember
session.
that night? Where were we? And we were driving home from somewhere, and I turned right down you were with Kim in the car, and I was with her in the front, and then I turned right, and you kept going home. It was like 8 o'clock at night or something.
And
Where were we coming from?
I remember.
Was it dinner?
It was dinner.
Yeah.
It was. We went to the birthday at Tukli.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm going. We left dinner because we were so tired.
Yeah.
And you turned right, and I went, "Where's he going?"
Yeah.
And I said to Kim, "There's no way he's going to the gym." And we spoke the next day. I said, "Do you go to the gym?" You went, Yeah. I just went and did 30 minutes of cardio.
Yeah. I think this is sort of why I want to chat about it, because some people might look at, or whether they look at me or somebody else, but we're all wired differently. I really think high performance is about an inner commitment. That's what I think it is. So, like, my inner commitment is different than yours, and it's different than somebody else's. But I did a story this morning, and I said, choose your 3 things that you want to get out of today, and then at work, and then exercise, and then if you've got kids or family, you often go see your nan, Cookie, or the baby, not your baby, but your brother's, and you know that's a big part of your week. That
It is
that energy
extremely
tick
important.
box.
Yeah.
Because I think high performance can actually fuel you to push you harder, but it also can exhaust you. And I think it can exhaust you if you're trying to live someone else's example. Do you get what I'm saying here?
I'm going to actually ask you a question about high performance, because we didn't talk about this podcast before
We have
right
no
now.
preparation today.
But high performance, just explain where you're going with that to me first. Like, you're talking high performance in one area of your life, like your high performance in health and fitness. I'm a health and fitness and work. I'm kind of just more work. But are you talking When you say high performance, is it a high performance life or is it a high performance pillar of your life?
I think it's time in a season. So if you look at your 20, are you 27 yet?
26.
26.
Yeah.
When do you turn 27?
February the 8th. Aquarius. Yeah.
Aquarius. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Matt, I'm Matt and Gemini. It's like, so I'm 49. You're 26. Time in a season. We would have different priorities, you and I, even though we have a similar type of focus. But you're probably building, building your work empire at the moment. It's probably the most important thing to you.
It is.
You don't have a lot of dependence. You have a lot of time, and you want to be something in your world, like your
That's
work
a good
world.
point. I'm happy to sacrifice most things to make sure that my work empire is building.
Yeah, and I did that.
Yeah.
So I did that for a long time, 20 years, lockdown, shut down, doing my thing, just work. So that appealed to me. So high performance to me, if you asked me 15 years ago, was all about becoming number one, really.
Yeah.
And I'd say similar for you, but you're probably a little bit more expanded on that because wealth is also important to you. So if I look at your priorities in life, I would say it would be work and it would be wealth.
100%.
Yeah. Even though you have a personal relationship going on and all that, it does take a little bit of a back seat to your other priorities at the moment. That's what I think, looking at you.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. You've only got so much time in one day.
Exactly.
And I'm the same. But if you look at mine today, mine would be fitness, number one, work, or I'd say personal relationship with Tara and the kids, and work, all the same. So there's none that stand out more. So I've had to merge into that.
Yeah.
And that's why my days are like fitness, work, kids, Tara, all of that. And
That's why work-life balance doesn't work. It's just your life and fitting everything that's important into each day. Yeah,
it is. But on top of that, high performance, it's not about just going to the gym and, I've done this. Because I think you can do that and not really be engaged either. I think you can, or even at work, you can go and waste 6 hours at work. So I think it's really understanding what the whole picture looks like. Nutrition is one thing. We were just talking about nutrition this morning.
Well, let me ask you a question because this will make sense to everybody listening. What would you call, or who would you call a high performer?
John McGrath.
Yeah. Well, okay. What characteristics make you a high performer? Do you think? Because if somebody's going, well, am I a high performer, or do I want to be? Like, where do I sit?
I think time in a season's got to be looked at as well. Because for me, my high performance life is
time in a season. You mean
time in a
what's
season.
important at the time?
We're in a different season, you and I.
Yeah, got it. Yep.
So for me, it's like making sure my personal life is just as good as my work life, but I have real momentum in work.
Yeah.
So I've built the momentum there, and I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Like building this momentum in the first area. It's hard to. I don't want people to think like I'm saying you just got to be all work, because other people might not want that. This is why everybody's different. And people listening to this, it's like, what is really important to you right now? And that's the gauge. That's the first part. If it's building income and wealth like yours, you've got to give most of attention to that. And you said work-life balance, and I don't think it exists.
It doesn't.
But it exists in energy. So it exists each day, and you give a certain amount of energy. Because I reckon that's where happiness comes from.
Yeah.
And I said it on a video just recently. If you give the importance areas of your life 110% every day, you feel good.
Yeah.
You feel like I'm getting somewhere.
Yeah, big wins.
Yeah. But if you walk in, and this is where drilling down and understanding it more, let's just take work for a minute. I don't want people writing in saying, oh, you just a workaholic or this or that. It's not about that. But if you look at work, there are people that go to work in our offices. Some of them kill it, some of them flounder, and some of them just stay the same. Same 12 hours a day, same work environment, same brand. So you've got to look at what plan are you working to for a start? How keen are you to really understand what the best of the best of the best do? I'm keen. We were just listening to Alexander Phillips for 2 minutes on that thing. And we're just talking about prospecting and stuff like that. So even now in my career, I want to learn how to do it better. So high performance to me now is about tweaking. So how do I list 20 to 25 we list 20 to 25 houses a month, but do it really well, service based. Because you can list 20 houses a month and be an absolute train wreck.
Yeah.
Not taking care of people, totally burn out.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, how do you enjoy it and list a house a day?
So do you think it's like, because I hear people say, a friend of mine, he goes, I'm a high performance dad. So is it working out what you want to be?
I vomited in my mouth.
A high performer at?
Yeah, that's right. What's important to you?
What am I going to be what do I want to do? What's important to me?
Yeah.
And I'm going to become a high performer at that thing.
But here's the thing. Good point, Jordan. You're actually right on point today.
Yeah.
You are.
I know.
Your questions are amazing. Because I think they're amazing, because I think they're leading to exactly where it needs to go. Think 20 years. Think 20 years.
Yeah.
All right. And this is, I reckon, a really good thing to talk about now. You can be a high performance dad.
Yeah.
Get a lot of value of that. In 20 years' time, if you don't have not even, there's a book called Outliers. Fantastic book. I've read it 3 times. I hardly read books.
Yeah.
Amazing book. And it talks about success. And it says, without money, it's very hard to provide success to your kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I've read it too. I'm with you.
Stick with me on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it says there's certain things with success. So if you're a high performance dad, what you're saying is you want to give your kids the best opportunity in the world. Shelley's like this. Shelley, my ex-wife, she is all about giving the 2 kids that she's got opportunity in life, and she wants to get them, she says it all the time, she wants to get them into adulthood in the best functional adults that they can be. Yeah. That's her whole goal.
That's unreal.
Yeah, whole goal. Which is great. So you nurture them. But if you get to a point in life and they start, like Jackson, who's sitting here, is my eldest kid, he's a photographer, filmer. I would have spent, I don't know how many tens of thousands of dollars on camera equipment to help him. You've got to generate income as well.
Yeah.
Because in that Outliers book, it has all these points on why success happens. And being a parent that can provide opportunity is sometimes the difference between one kid being able to...
That was like the first point in the book, pretty much.
Or the 10,000 hour rule is the first. So working at it.
Yeah.
And becoming an expert at it. And then, 2 or 3 points in, it's about...
The rate between like parents that could provide for the kids and parents that couldn't, the kids that were successful and weren't, was phenomenal. The difference.
I've watched it in Logan's World.
Away.
Yeah, I've watched it in Logan's World, in the surfing world. It's a bloody expensive career.
Massively.
Surfing. Yeah. You're a junior pro surfer. To go to comps, so we just went to Queensland to watch Logan in a comp.
Yeah.
It would have cost us, how much, Jack, you reckon? $5,000? $6,000? Yeah, about 6 to 8. Yeah, something like that. So a few of us went, me, Tara, Jackson, Logan, Charlie. It was boards and things and entering the comps and staying at things. And there's kids that Logan has competed with all their life. They've dropped off now. Yeah. Because it's too much.
Well, it's a job.
Yeah.
You just don't get paid for it for a long time.
That's exactly right.
It's a bit like real estate, You work 3-4 years with no money.
Yeah.
You just get enough. But to become a professional athlete without help from mum and dad, there's no enough.
Yeah.
It's zero.
Yeah,
unless you're really, really, really good and you get a bit of help from your sponsors. But other than that,
most sponsors provide product.
That's all
for most of the time. So why I'm saying this, let's go back to you saying a high performance dad, phenomenal.
Yeah.
But you've also got to start to move into a different season at some point and say, how do you provide further to get them, to provide them opportunities? That's why my life as a whole now is very important. I think I compromised a lot when I was younger because I was all about work and providing. I think I provided okay with what I had for them, and I didn't have a lot in the early stages.
Yeah.
But I worked to provide the best that I could. And then now I see it as, if you're not healthy, you've sort of got nothing.
Yeah.
I've said it before on videos.
Well, I love this saying, a healthy man has 100 wishes, a sick man only has 1. That's the best. Did you
That's
hear
exactly
that?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly...
A sick man only has 1 wish.
So at 49 years old, I'm different than you. You're probably not looking at your health going, because you've got plenty of time.
I can give up a
anything.
bit of energy in my health and add it to work.
Yeah.
For the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, one area, if I'm feeling good and I'm flexible, and I go see a guy in Sydney twice a week to make sure I stay flexible and works on trigger points. Jackson's got a friend who's a boxer, martial artist boxer, Ando. Yeah, he's pulled his back at 20 years old.
Yeah, he's not a boxer, but
whatever, he's had a fight or something. Yeah, he's training, but he's pulled his back. I'm 49. I reckon my body is better than most 20-year-olds because I work on it. And this is what I'm saying about drilling down in areas and understanding what's the best vehicle.
That's the. It's just a funny thing, but that's the one thing I couldn't understand early on. You'd be like, I'm going to see Michael. I'd be like, what have you done now? And you're like, nothing. I'm just making sure my body's perfect so it doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Prevention is better than the remedy.
Yeah.
And because I know when I was 30 years old, around, say 30 something, I used to wash my wetsuit out after surfing and I literally couldn't stand up straight. My back was so, and it was, I went to the physio for 5 years, like trying to fix this thing. You couldn't fix it. And my mate, Bryce, our mate, he goes, go see this guy. He'll fix it. And I was like, oh, whatever. I've been going to see this other physio and whatever. And this Michael, who went and saw, fixed it in like 8 goes.
Yeah.
Fixed it. And I'm like, whoa, this is pretty amazing. And what he taught me was that we're not talking about muscles here, but it's important. So health, and this is what you said, an unhealthy person's got one wish and, a sick person's got one wish and everyone...
And a healthy person's got hundreds.
Yeah, that's right. But what I saw was if you've got a sore back, it throws your mind out.
Yeah.
It throws your body out. You go to appointments, you can't. Yeah, you can't. And I remember walking in an appointment at Point Frederick. It was a good one, waterfront. My back was killing me, like literally. And I was like, I got out of the car, couldn't hardly stand up straight. It was such a bad appointment. I really wanted the listing, but I just was not in the zone. And it wouldn't allow me to go there because my back was so bad. And I was just like, oh. So what I learned was when I'm feeling great, the rest of the world functions really well around me. And at 49, you're in a danger zone. Like you've been running on your body for 40-something years.
Yeah.
Like you could drive a 40-year-old car.
Yeah.
Might look cool, but I don't know about going on the freeway.
Yeah. A few bangs and things. Yes.
So 1 second. This is why I drive to Sydney twice a week. I work all the way down, go see Michael for 1 hour, and he's either at Cogra or he's at Campbelltown. I'll go to wherever. But the value in that for me is I can pretty much guarantee I won't get injured. Oh, I better be careful here. Yeah. My body is flexible enough that it bounces back if anything happens straight away. So even if you don't get tweaked or anything, but you might feel a little strain, but he'll fix it in 2 seconds. But I stay on top of it. And it's momentum. I have muscle momentum because it's feeling great. So that's one part of my life. I wake up every day and go, I still get tired, don't get me wrong. I still get tired from emotion. What I learned from him is emotions are carried in your body. Your muscles hold emotions in. And you could be 20 years old, 30 years old, 50 years old. And if you don't attend to that, what happens on the deeper layers, they get tight. Your mum had it recently. And they get tight and you keep doing your things. And all of a sudden, ting.
Yeah.
You go to pick up a pen and it's like, oh, I just pulled my back out.
Yeah.
How did I do that picking up a pen? No. It's the last 5 years of emotional roller coaster stored in your muscles. If you don't release it, it's gonna come out later as an injury. So that's why I do that. But I invest the time in doing it. So health is not just going to the gym for me. Health is gym, 31 minutes, once or twice a day if I can. Michael, once or twice a week if I can. Nutrition, 80-90% perfect.
Yeah.
Eating so I stay lean and my body's fueled, all that sort of stuff. Hydrated. And probably the way I think as well. Like I don't want this negative crap in my body. So like thinking wise. So that's health to me. That's just one topic in my life.
That's a characteristic of a high performer, essentially. And I was just thinking while you were saying that, we just heard Alexander Phillips say, if you've got no listings, make 300 calls. I think what high performance do is they're always consistent around their results. You always go to the gym. You always go down and see Michael. You're prospecting daily. What most people do is they go, I've got no listings, and then they're behind the 8 ball.
Yeah. Or I feel good. I won't see Michael. Can't be bothered driving 2 hours.
I don't feel well. I better start eating better and go to the gym.
Yeah. So let's talk about work. So that's one area to give people an idea. And this is only our version of what it is. But you've got to relate it to what's important to you. So let's talk about work because it's an important subject in your life. And so what's high performance at work? For me, health, boom. That's how I see high performance in that area. Now, what's high performance in work? Because at 8:30 every morning we step into work.
What do I think it is?
Well, what does that look like?
Well, I think it's knowing where you're going first,
Okay, I agree.
and then how you're going to get there. What do you need to do? I like you taught me a long time ago. Just worry about killing the day. I think as a real estate agent, and for anybody in most careers, they know what they need to do every day to move towards where they want to go. And I think high performers do that extremely well. They deliver above what they need to do daily to get where they need to be. They don't let a week go past and go, I should have done this, I shouldn't have done that. I'll do it next week.
You know what really bothers me? Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just said it to you before we started. I said, did you get the 2 whiteboards yesterday? Because we want to put 2 whiteboards up on our wall, 2 new ones, with 20 squares on each. Yeah. One's listings, one sales. That's our minimum KPI every month. And I said to you, did we get the whiteboard? And you said no. And I'm like, well, that's a task that's carried over from yesterday. It really should have been done yesterday.
Should have.
So high performers get things done. Keep going.
Well, that's it. No. I'm learning how to high perform. All I know how to do is work extremely hard and have a really good energy and attitude. I'm still learning. I'm a young person. Yeah. Young person, really all they have is their energy, their attitude, their ability just to get things done, and they learn the craft over time. I've got a lot better at my craft, but I'm nowhere near you. But
you're on the right track.
I know what I need to do daily.
And you know what you want to get out. Yeah. So we just had our biggest year ever. You know, you're a partner in the team. So it's like we just had our biggest year ever. You're a contributor to all of that. So next year we know what we've got to do. Yeah. And we don't want massive leap from that. We just want a bit better. Yeah. And I think high performance is about a longer term view. It's not about
only longer term, I think.
And you've worked with me for quite a while now. Yeah. And you'll see every time I just move it a bit. So it's like if we've done, and all stay steady. So we want to sell a house a day, but our minimum KPI is 20. So that's not a house a day. Yeah. But vibrationally, 20 for us feels like, we can run to that. And then whatever's over that we're happy with. That'll just be the month.
I reckon that's the go, is knowing where you're going. And I'm just going to tell a quick story. You know it. But Gav, a friend of ours, very successful, owns a lot of McDonald's in the area and a lot of business and real estate. And he said to me, I said, I'm a bit tired, a little bit of a slump, blah, 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 blah. He said, mate, that's life. Put a date on your mirror, and as soon as it hits that date, you're back into it. And he told the story about a friend of his that drew the gold medal, she was an athlete, around her neck on the mirror. So every time she got out of the shower, it looked like she was wearing the gold medal. And she just performed at her absolute best ability, chasing that one goal, the gold medal.
For sure.
And that's what you've done for 20-something years, number 1 in McGrath.
Yeah, for sure.
You just get better at the tasks. You get better at managing your energy. You work out that health's important. What you eat is a massive factor. You just get better and better and better and better. And that goal gets shorter and shorter.
Yeah, it does. I was going to say something. I can't remember what I was going to say now.
I was waffling, sorry.
No, I was going to say something exactly along those lines. But, I think the most important thing here, I think too many people want quick. Yeah. Too many people want, I want to sell. There's a couple of agents, right, that spruik on social media that we see. And I mean, ones that are relatively new. I mean, been in it 2, 3, 4 years. And every time you love them. You love watching them. You're like, oh, it's so good.
I like marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, you like marketing. But I always say to you, George, show me the agents that have been doing it for 20 years. Yeah. Consistently, they're the ones to really watch, because you can go up real fast. But what usually happens when you go up real fast?
Burn out, get over it.
Yeah, things that go up real fast usually come. It's like going out and having a party. You feel amazing going out and having a party, but there's always a big down after it. But it's like a gradual thing, and I think high performance is a gradual thing. So at work, if you've got to attach your day to the outcome that you have. Yeah. So I think too many times people set a goal, but it's like, what's the track of the day? Yeah. And the track of the day might be, I'm going to do 20 prospecting calls, because it's not you've got to do anything extraordinary in the day. You just got to allocate time to make sure you stick to it, but then stick to it over a long period of time. It's very hard to do that.
Yeah. I like when you discussed it with Logan, your son wants to be a professional surfer, and you said, let's make it really simple, Logan. What do you need to do on a daily basis that's going to give you the best opportunity to become the best in the world? And you said, surf twice a day, eat reasonably well, treat it like like work, essentially. Go to the gym twice, etc., etc. All he needs to worry about is doing them key things every day
Yeah.
to provide an outcome in 5, 10, or however many years.
Yeah.
But all he needed to do was kill the day.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
pretty cool
True.
and simple.
Nothing will beat consistency. Nothing. So time, when Jackson wanted to be a photographer, I said, Jack, you just spend more time behind the camera than anybody else and you'll end up being great.
Yeah.
And he was working with a guy at the time. The guy goes, oh, don't worry about listening to your dad. Just pretend you're doing it like this, right? And didn't he? Yeah, he said, just pretend you're doing it and like to keep me happy. It's nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You can do that, but you're only going to cheat yourself. So there is definitely a path to get to the goal that you want. And what does that path look like? So is it 20 calls a day? Someone else has been there. You just got to go find them. You do it. You're the king of sourcing our mentors.
I'm the king of that.
You love it. But someone else has already been there.
Yeah.
And I heard on a thing once, many years ago, some CDs, and I think the guy was worth, I don't know, $20 million or something. And he said, I can teach someone how to generate $5 million, $10 million, and $20 million, but I can't teach them how to get to 50. And it really resonated with me.
Yeah.
Because if you want to write $7 million in a year, they can talk to us.
Yeah.
Those people can talk to us. We've done it.
Yeah. I love that. I was just trying to make sense of that in my head.
But we can't teach someone how to get to 10 because we haven't been there.
And we shouldn't either.
Yeah, we can't teach someone to run with a team of more than 6 people because we've got 6 people in our team.
Yeah.
All different roles. We can teach them.
I love that.
So the question is, who has been there before? If someone wants to write 1.5 million in a year or sell 80 houses or whatever that thing is to you, who's been there and who's done it over a long period of time?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to talk to someone who did it in 12 months' time. I'm sure there's things in there that you might learn.
Yeah.
But who's done it consistently and kept a real steady pace? Because it's the steady pace that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
How did they bring their best each day? And what were those things and how did their day look? And what was the challenges that they had and all of this sort of stuff? And what was the wins that they had? And what was the formula? Because you want to learn their formula. And then you want to make it your own. So high performance at work would be exactly that.
Let me ask you a question. It's kind of on track, but off a little bit. I've met a lot of successful people working beside you. We sell nice homes, and you've got a lot of mentors that have a lot more wealth than you and are a lot further down the track. What would you say is the main? Everybody's in different industries too, but what would you say is the main characteristics you've found over time with all of these different people and different businesses to be high performers?
They don't chase the money, for sure. They do not chase money. They stay in their lane and become experts at it.
That's like a mic drop.
But they do. I've got some very wealthy friends.
Yeah,
like anywhere
very,
from 80 million to $1 billion.
Yeah.
More than $1 billion. And like Gary Teague, for instance, like he's, I don't know, tripped many billions.
Yeah.
And I could pick up the phone and talk to any one of them at any time. And some very close friends, Gav's probably worth 100.
Yeah.
Jason Gazelle, 100. Phil's probably worth a couple of hundred. And they're very simple people.
Yeah.
Gav still flips hamburgers in his McDonald's restaurants.
I love
he has
that.
many McDonald's restaurants.
Yeah.
And he still goes and flips burgers. You know why? Because he wants his workers in there to connect with him, but also know that he's invested in what's going on in here. So other people might have different formulas, but I tend to attract the people who are like...
But if you just look at him too, he's very healthy. He runs marathons.
He's run a marathon on the weekend.
Yeah. He eats perfect.
Yeah.
He's got a very good connection with his family. He makes time for that. He just said to me, I just got back from a family holiday. He said that was non-negotiable. That was extremely important to me. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. So if you look at his pillars that we talk about, family, wealth, business, health and fitness, they're all 10 out of 10, probably.
They are.
Which allows him to perform at such a high level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they're interested in wealth. Like they're interested in managing their money. It's not like they don't care about it.
Yeah.
But he started when he was 15 years old in McDonald's. And now he owns 10, and he's like very real. He's had a flat tire one day and I was with him and I said, do you want me to get someone to come change it for you? He looked at me like I was nuts. I was like, he's not got a Prado. He just drives a Prado. And he's like, what? I said, do you want to get one of the boys to come change it for you? No, I'm perfectly capable of changing a tire. Thanks. I was like, all right, whatever. Like,
Yeah,
I would
very
have
cool.
I would have been like, Jordan, can you get
Yeah.
Charlie to come on? Yeah, but good guys. But that's the thing that I've learned.
Yeah.
They know, he knows his KPIs really well.
Don't focus on the money and just get
No.
extremely good at your craft.
He does. He knows how many burgers he needs. He knows how quick the drive-through needs to go through. He knows how many people he needs working in these things. He knows what type of people. He knows what he needs to do every day. Spoke to him the other day. He was up in his office doing his bookkeeping and stuff like that. So he's very hands-on still.
Yeah.
And I think the lesson in that is you got to do something you want to do.
Yeah.
And then drill down on that thing over a period of time. Like we're talking about, how old would Gav be? My age?
Yeah.
Maybe a bit younger?
A bit younger, yeah.
Yeah. And then so he would be 15 years old. Let's call him 47 years old.
Yeah.
So 40 years, 30 years, 30 years he has not changed his lane.
Yeah. Well, that's
At
what
all.
we're talking about.
And here's something interesting. His best mate has just bought 2 of his McDonald's restaurants, who is also a triathlete, super great guy.
Yeah.
And now he's following Gav's formula,
Yeah.
and he'll end up exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, and he's buying Gav's restaurants as Gav wants to sell them. You know, super inspiring guy, but formula. You know, like he's got a formula. So what I'm saying to you, yeah.
Let me ask you another question. What if somebody says, I don't want to be a high performer?
Well, don't listen to the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I think, like when people say, well, money's not important to me, like that's a very interesting thing, I think, because
Jackson said that to me.
you can
years
do
ago.
whatever you like with it. Like if you want to save the elephants over in Africa or take great care of your kids. Or this.
I
It's
don't
not about
believe
flashy stuff
that,
wealth.
Jordan. I don't
Yeah.
believe anyone would say I don't want to be a high performer.
So do you think
because
everybody should work towards being a high performer at something?
we started this thing by saying everybody wants different things in different ways.
For sure.
If you do knitting,
Mm-hmm.
so you're a knitter and you do it casually and you
Yeah.
enjoy knitting, I'm sure you want to knit a little faster and a little better to get the rugs made for the baby that you're going to send it to or whatever
Yeah.
you're going to do. It's about better.
Yeah.
High performance is about a gradual move towards becoming a bit better.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. It's not about being Tiger Woods or being Elon Musk and all that sort of stuff. Like that's their journey.
Yeah.
But whatever you do in life, you've got a limited resource called time.
Mm.
And every day you're gifted with 24 hours, every day. And you're going to devote a certain amount of time to your interests and to maybe things you need to do. You might be working in a job somewhere that's just a job to you. You're happy working in a job and you're happy getting paid, and you may not need the money, but you like, working there, but you'd want to enjoy it.
Mm.
So if you're working in a gift shop, a homeware shop, and that's a job. I know a really wealthy lady lives here. She lives on the beach down here at Terrigal, and she's worth telephone numbers. She still goes to a job every day to work it because just she's it interests her.
Yeah.
But if you're going to devote that time, wouldn't you want to enjoy it and make someone else's day phenomenally good?
Yeah.
So when they come in, I'd want to master the art of service.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to you. It's not about I want high performance because I want this whiz bang life.
Mm.
It's about being really useful with your time and enjoying the process as well.
Mm.
Like enjoying the growth of it. And I think you enjoy life the most when you're growing. Jack, grab coffee. I think you're enjoying when you're growing is pretty much the only time when you're really, really enjoying life.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree with
You're
you.
growing in each area of life slowly. That's why being in your lane, taking a longer period of time, it's about that slow growth.
Well, it's nice working towards something. How many times have we seen people that have run businesses for 40, 50 years and then sell it and be a bit like
Yeah,
go
lost.
into depression or
Yeah.
this or that? And it's just because they're not working towards something anymore.
Yeah.
That whole area of their life is they're now a bit like, now what?
Yeah, now what? That's right. We were going to sell our business a while ago because we had an amazing offer on it. And a guy who's one of my mentors in life said, do not sell it.
Mm.
This is probably 5-6 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe more. He said, you will crystallize your life and you'll get lost. And it's the best advice ever. Business is difficult sometimes,
Yeah.
and our work is like We cops a few punches along the way and stuff
Yeah.
like that. He was so right. He
Yeah.
goes, you're too young.
Yeah.
You will get lost. And
Yeah.
I agree with that, because what we're learning and growing and doing and all of that sort of stuff, that's where the juice is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's end on this. So
Mm.
high performance. So if it's fitness, work, family, even high performance at family. You walked in here. There's an Xbox sitting over there. We're doing this in my house right now. Xbox over there. And I'm sure it was you or Jackson.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
And you said, do the kids love playing Xbox?
Yeah.
Because Jackson's birthday today. Happy birthday, Jack. Thanks. And all the kids will be over. They'll be playing Xbox. To me, that's high performance.
Yeah.
That time they're all together, smiling, all connected, because my life was not high performance personally before.
No.
It was in a mess.
Yeah.
You rode through the whole thing with me, mainly because of Tara. She just over there. No, she made my life better. But it's my life. My personal life was a mess. And if you talk about high performance in life, didn't matter about work being high performance. We stayed steady, still achieved.
I remember your goal
Yeah.
years ago when we spoke about it. You said I want
about
You said I want to be able to sit at the table and have dinner on a Sunday with all of my family, laughing and having a great time. And that seemed like such a long way away at the time when we spoke about that. Here we are.
Jackson, how long did we not talk for? No, just the last time for year and a half. We didn't talk. I wasn't talking to Jackson. We just fell out. Logan and Phoenix, we had an okay relationship. The little kids it was okay, but it was all disconnected everywhere. It was just a mess.
Yeah.
Train wreck. Now, amazing. It's
perfect.
The best.
Yeah.
And that part of growth for me has been phenomenal, and it's made the whole. That's why I think it's all interconnected.
Yeah.
You can be great at work, but if you go home and you're, sort of a train wreck outside of work, partying too hard, doing all things that aren't fulfilling you, or maybe I've been through 2 divorces, going through a divorce, trying to patch up life and whatever else. It doesn't feel whole. It feels like there's something not right
It's
in
like
there.
having a sore back.
It is.
Yeah.
So that's why I think longer period of time. How long has it been since me working through that? 4 years, 5 years or something?
Yeah.
And now all coming together, but I haven't stopped swinging.
Yeah.
I've kept working towards, and you said it before, you got to know what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
I know what I was aiming for. I just had to keep marching towards it.
Yeah.
That's why you can't give up.
Yeah.
You can't stop. You'll get there for sure, but you got to know the areas of your life are important and then understand how to get there. Family, with me, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
I had these kids thrust upon me,
Yeah.
painful things that they are. No, but I had, kids, I was in relationships I didn't understand how to do it, whether it probably wasn't the right, things at the time. But I was determined to work it out. So if you're listening to this and you're working, we get it all the time. How many messages do we get from people who want to understand how to make their work better?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to connect with people that inspire you, that understand how to get there. But then you got to do the work.
Yeah.
You're going to have days that are just terrible. You're going to have listings that are missed and things not work and whatever else. But you got to have the resolve to say, I'm going to keep marching towards it until I get there. You have many choices as a young sales agent.
Yeah.
But you're sort of connected to the journey.
Yeah.
I can see it. I've had to rein you in a few times, but
Yeah.
but you're sort of connected. It's all going to pay off massive dividends down here somewhere.
Yeah. For
Massive.
sure. Long game.
Long game.
Yeah.
And that's the way I've seen it. We talk about what I got paid for many years, which is nothing almost, like only just getting by, but I knew it would pay off down the track.
Yeah.
And I think you got to be a bit that way minded.
Yeah.
Like it's going to work out down here. You just got to make sure the path you're walking on is the right path.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to end on this, George?
No, I liked that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I just want to close on this summary.
All right. Well, let's do a recap.
Yeah.
If somebody's like, okay, I'm going to get real with myself, I want to be a high performer, what do they need to do today to get in the best position to do that?
Yeah, okay. Great question. Let's end on this. You got to work out what's important to you, time and a season. And you got to be real as well. Like if you asked me at 25 years old, was family important to me? No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But was turning my life around and making income important to me? Because I had no home, remember? I lived with Jackson's nan. Just she let me live there. Number one important to me. Was health important to me? No, absolutely not.
Mm.
So it would have been work and income. That's it back then. And be okay with that. Don't be like, oh, everyone thinks I should be this family man and this and that. If that's not important to you, just be real with yourself. And then you've got to go out and master this thing. It's going to take 5 years, I reckon, to get some real traction and momentum. But I'm talking about if you do it right in 5 years and totally commit, I call it a lockdown period, you're going to get so much momentum in that area of your life, it will keep building and going. Like it will keep building. It will go on for years after that. But you've got to literally devote yourself to it. So I had to make some changes as well. When family became important, I was like, I need to work this thing out. I've got this family thing working out. But I had to give time to it as well and understand how to get there and connect with people who could show me. So I think the first thing is be real with yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're pretty real. Like you go like, you say all the time, like all you care about is yourself, work and money.
Yeah. I think you almost have to.
Yeah.
When you're building something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like everybody around me gets that. There'll be time for them down the track and I'll be able to give them a great life. But they just need to let me do my thing for a bit.
Yeah, you do. You need space to do it. The only thing I would have done a little different is made health more important to me. So like I would have learnt the art of health, eating right.
Yeah.
Bit of you can always make time for a bit of fitness because I think that pays off longer term as well.
Yeah.
And then just be slow about it. You know, just be slow and also you've got to be committed to doing the tasks. You can't be a real estate agent or a business owner or a salesperson or anything like that and not prospect. You know, and not do the work to move things forward.
Yeah.
You can't cheat yourself. Like you can go into a gym. I was only thinking about this morning. You can go into a gym and do the actions.
Yeah.
Or you can go into a gym and put extra weight on and really push yourself hard. No one knows. You're still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But one will have a vast difference over a period of time and one you'll pretty much stay the same.
Yeah.
You know, not much different at all. You said it to me. You said you go to the gym, but not much changes with you.
Yeah.
But I reckon if you trained with me for 6 months, I reckon I'd change you.
I've trained with you twice and I never wanted to do it again.
But I sourced how to, like I already knew, but I sourced info.
For sure.
Yeah, Bryce was amazing. And I just do exactly what I was told to do. And I think that's the difference. If you're really serious about life improvement, high performance in different areas, you have to be so committed to this thing, you can't cheat yourself. It's like doing the exam and taking Google with you or doing the exam because you've actually studied. Same thing. When I say same thing, it's the same. Cheating or not cheating, only you know if you're doing it. And if you apply yourself, don't cheat, don't let yourself off, and make the difference up tomorrow. So if you 5 prospecting calls short today, do it tomorrow. Make up the 5.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to come back again.
Yeah.
You've got to make it up. If you do that enough, it's all about momentum and you're going to run so fast. Others will look at you and go, wow, look at that guy.
Yeah.
Wow, he's killed it. No. He just paid the price early on. Learned the art of high performance.